crazy ass dunks and smooth pull-ups that showed he was NBA ready. Coaches and scouts loved what they saw on the court, and fans swore he was the next grade 2 guard in the making. He was named Big West Player of the Year, earned All-American honors, while helping reestablish UNLV as a powerhouse. But behind all that flash and talent, cracks were already forming. Just before the NIT tournament his senior year, Ryder was suspended for fraud. He had cheated on an English paper by taking work from his tutor or something. I mean, we've all been there. Well, Liddy dismissed it as a minor mistake, a bad decision from the young kid under pressure. It should have been the first major warning sign, but none of that mattered to Minnesota Timberwolves, who only saw the upside. With the 5th overall pick in the 1993 NBA draft, they made their move. And initially, it looked like a steal. Ryder came into the league ready to score. As a rookie, he averaged only 17 points per game, won the slam dunk contest with his legendary East Bay funk dunk, and immediately became one of the most exciting players was that Ryder had his issues at college. If anything, they got a good fucking push. He was constantly late to practice. He clashed with coaches constantly. He was involved in a slew of off-court incidents that slowly condensed the organization's patience with him. One of the most infamous moments was when he assaulted a female manager at a sports bar in Minnesota. What's up with these broads getting beat up by dudes in the NBA? Jesus Christ. This landed him in court with conviction for 5th-degree assault. Later, he was caught with some vomit. He was even racked up parties for illegally charging phone calls to random people's numbers, which was just kind of bizarre and petty for someone making that much money. Even through the chaos, his on-court talents kept him healthy. He still averaged 19 points per game over his 3 years in Minnesota, but the franchise had enough of him. They didn't want to babysit a grown man who couldn't show up on time or go into trouble. So in 1996, they traded him to the Trailblazers, who at the time felt like a fresh start. But instead of a team's winning score, dropping 19 to 20 nights, hitting clutch shots, City would be a walking point. But the off-court issues would not stop. He skipped practices and missed evening lights, cursed out coaches, and was fined so often that it became a routine at this point. His behavior was so toxic that Oakland's front office had debates about whether his talent was even worth all the trouble he brings them. During his 3 seasons, he was suspended multiple times by both the team and the league. At one point, he was caught spitting at fans, and another climbing into the stands to confront hecklers. Ryder wasn't just self-destructing, he was actively dragging teams down with him. The media dubbed the team the Jailblazers, while others certainly contributed to that label. Ryder was doing his part. He had become a symbol of wasted potential and stubborn immaturity. Eventually, Portland had enough and traded him again. This time to Atlanta, where hoping to change the scenery might finally wake him up. Instead, the chaos only got worse. In the season, over 80 violations of team rules, and when he was suspended again for being late, he demanded to be released rather than take punishment. The Hawks frustrated and went down on the game. Then came his brief stint with the Lakers, where he played alongside legends like Shaq and Kobe. Even there, in the strict system of Phil Jackson, and the only championship culture, Ryder couldn't get it together. He was suspended for 2 years, violating the league's anti-foul policy, averaged under 8 points, and barely had enough. He was averaging more high fives than points during that run. His final shot at redemption would come with the Denver Nuggets, where he played just 10 games before being played. In 2002, Ryder's NBA career was pretty much over. He was only 30, technically part of the player's prime years. What followed after basketball now for him was just a slow and public and Ryder didn't face quiet in his retirement. He crashed and burned and was arrested over and over again. In 2006, the story that shocked diehard supporters broke as he was charged with kidnapping and battery after allegedly dragging a woman in a car against the wall and speeding off while he screamed desperately for help. What the actual fuck? Bro retired and became Ted Bundy. It was a terrifying showing into how far behind the world was. His bail was $72 million, and morally proud for that incident, Ryder was arrested. Yes, again, this time for being on the resisting arrest, and violating the rules. He was later arrested for crash ball, illegal possession of a gun, and driving still illegal. Literally just playing PTO in real life. In one case, he was arrested for domestic violence against his fiancée, and another used alcohol or gun in the same vehicle he used to transport children. This was used to help athlete. He was in trouble with man spiraling into the criminal condition. Courtroom after courtroom, headline after headline, the narrative went from NBA star in trouble again to they don't seem to love his son very much, getting his name tattooed on his chest, but unfortunately, apparently, it wasn't always well. Not to excuse, but son, although being unemployed and in and out of mental facilities, believing in doing things like robbing women at knife point nearby. Errol was blinded by the fantasy of still going pro while in his 30s and serving extended prison sentences for gradually worsening crimes. Eventually, Errol would be arrested for the kidnapping of a woman in 1985 before being released in 1992, where his mother, who was Sean's grandmother, would pick up. She was quite used to courtrooms.
Message for us.
He jumped from here and then he took Sister Frank.
Well, I wasted all my time with that idiot Sebastian.
Hi. Sebastian met her. Last night at the concert, he talked to her. She even mentioned someone else.
But he was with us. Why would he want your sister Pig?
Kaylee was selling her virginity on the internet. Sister Pig's a nut. In his sick mind, that means she's a virgin.
Just like Kaylee.
Sensodyne is our first line of defense against sensitivity. When people are experiencing sensitivity, they're experiencing an exposed layer of the tooth. Sensodyne helps by creating a protective barrier on those exposed areas. I like Sensodyne because it works.
And on top of the potential health risks, many just find that they are ashamed of the way that their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look.
I think there's only been one time where I was afraid to just have a date look at my hands because she was.
Well, just one?
She was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want.
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found.
I think there's only been one time where I was afraid to just have a date look at my hands because she was.
Well, just one?
She was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want.
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found beautiful. Keep that in mind, ladies. If he's not hiding his hands, you're a dog. But where this really starts to escalate is when the next stage, toenail biting, happens. God, you've done all of these, Nick. Not only does this come with similar risks, but it can cause serious interpersonal conflicts due to the gross nature of the act.
My birthday party.
Literally. And on top of the potential health risks, many just find that they are ashamed of the way that their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look. Ashamed of the way their damaged hands look.
I think there's only been one time where I was afraid to just have a date look at my hands because she was.
Well, just one?
She was
Why?
so beautiful. I didn't want.
You're like, I've only been on a date with one person I ever truly found. Some people lament that despite the insane amount of pain they're under, they still can't help but rip off their entire nail plates of their toes.
See, I've had this compulsion where I was like, I just want to rip my fingernails and toenails off.
Some people lament that despite the insane amount of pain they're under, they still can't help but rip off their entire nail plates of their toes.
See, I've had this compulsion where I was like, I just want to rip my fingernails and toenails off.
Why?
They're already so low. I was like, I just need to get rid of them. But I don't want the pain. It hurts.
Doing calluses and sucking on knuckles. Never have I once seen that in my life, and that would be fucking disgusting. You could also include other areas of the body, like biting the lips and cheeks to the point of causing painful sores. People that engage in this habit often have visible scarring on their body and have irritated skin. Similar to the precious types, dermatophagia can often result in infections, and the damage done to the skin can cause people to socially isolate themselves due to the shame and embarrassment of their condition. Some people lament that despite the insane amount of pain they're under, they still can't help but rip off their entire nail plates of their toes.
See, I've had this compulsion where I was like, I just want to rip my fingernails and toenails off.
Why?
They're already so low.
This was Duel Link's fourth mini-box that released in May of 2017. Its cover card was Green Baboon, Defender of the Forest, which no one was expecting and no one really cared about. But before we dive into Land of the Titans' disappointments, let's gloss over the good.